Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Kickstarter critique where I take a look at a different Kickstarter tabletop game project every weekday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and give my honest thoughts on how that project is being ran. And today, I'm very excited to be checking out the second most popular game on all of Kickstarter and the third most popular project, period. That is Darkest Doom, competitive strategy RPG game. 1 to 4 players, dark fantasy setting. Inspired by ... Thank you, Keith. So the first thing is, why am I supposed to be excited about this? I see nothing. The only thing you're showing me, it's a 1 to 4 player, and it's fantasy. And dark fantasy. But there's lots of fantasy. There's lots of dark fantasy. And I know it's because, oh, look, there's minis, but there's tons of minis. I guess maybe the big thing here is the size of the minis and the fact that this is like something that the minis stand on. But I've seen that in other games as well. Don't get me wrong. If you can do it at a reasonable price, putting minis on top of things, I think, is always a fantastic idea. But now I'm starting to see the bases, so I actually do like that. I'm starting to see actual gameplay stuff, but it's just, this main image is like, eh. And then setting inspired by that century Europe. So, okay. Yep, we're going to have to do this because I'm Roman numeral conversion. Does Google even have such a thing? 17. Inspired by 17th century Europe. We could have just said 17th. We had to go with the Roman numerals. Oh my gosh, I'm such an American. With anthropomorphic animals. Okay, so I will say, I feel like this is what we should lead off with. A 17th century European competitive 1 to 4 player game. Like, I feel like that kind of intrigues me a little bit more. But I just feel like the main image could definitely, it needs something. I'm sure as we go through the Kickstarter campaign, I'll be like, oh, that'd be a great thing to put here. That'd be a great thing to put here. So, but anywho, as always, when we go to the video, I'm thinking 3 things. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? Let's go.
It all started during the ceremony to appoint Urion as Knight of the Guardians. High Priestess Elaine was about to start the ritual when the blood sigil on the monolith started to vibrate. The sigil was put in place to imprison Marsh, the shadow shaman, inside the monolith. The Guardian.
So we are going hardcore balls to the wall theme. That's the plan. I'm going to make a prediction here. I'm hoping it's not too much longer, but when are we actually going to start to see some actual gameplay, some components? I'm going to guess 1 minute. I hope it's not that long. I hope I'm wrong.
Looked up at the sky and saw the beginning of the end. The High Priestess was floating in mid-air. Behind her, the moon was spouting the same darkness they'd drained from Marsh. Dark filaments enveloped Elaine, and she became the matrix of the darkness. The Guardians fought all night to banish the threat. By dawn, the moon was still high in the sky. The eclipse was upon them. Elaine was losing her life force, which fed the moon. Days passed, and all of Betel was falling prey to the darkness. On the 9th day, realizing she had no other options, the High Priestess attempted the impossible. She shattered the Crimson Fate, relic of the ancient Aeon, to call upon his favor. Elaine's feet caught Aeon's attention.
This is tough. I'm fading away. Sleeping emoji. Yes, this is a lot of theme here. And it's not theme I know. Like, you're mentioning the characters in first like, and I just want to, what kind of game is this?
Time turned back to the dawn of 9 days earlier.
Oh, is this a time-traveling game? Because if it's a time-traveling game, that's a word that should be on the marquee. Hey, Kabuki.
Born, the Guardians were ready to face the darkest doom once more.
That's our
with
character.
Renewed abilities and knowledge.
Hey, here we go. 1 minute and 50 seconds for those of you keeping track at home. If you were guessing, wow. And there we go. That's the start of the show right there. That mini. Like, look at that. That looks drop dead gorgeous. Okay. Gameplay. I'm here for gameplay.
Is a competitive strategy game with RPG elements for 1 to 4 players.
Wow, that's some really nice table appeal, and I like how they did that setup. This is actually functional as well. I like the fact that they're showcasing this as a functional piece in addition to being, a massive centerpiece. Just great table appeal here. Hopefully we get some really close zoomed in shots of these player areas because I want to see. This is what I'm talking about. This looks good. First minute 50 I could give two hoots about. Every game on Kickstarter has some sort of story that if they really wanted to lean into the theme, they could make the whole minute 50 seconds about theme. But the gameplay, that's where you're going to sell stuff, I think.
As you explore the region of Betel, you will complete quests on behalf of Vicar Percival in order to increase your fame and your guardian statistics.
Oh, go back. I want to see that. So, inlaid board, like that dual-layered board. Cards, okay. Looks good. Spots for armor.
Fame and your guardian statistics. Ally yourself with citadels once you have enough fame to gain advantages over the other guardians. Take advantage of each game zone and its unique abilities. Find the Elder's relics if you're tough enough and lucky. The Spirit's Lantern is one of these relics. Use it to summon the Lake Spectre.
So it's a mini that I get when I get the card, and that's kind of cool. If you want minis, then just wait for Reaper Bones 6 launching tomorrow. But I will say, like, I feel like that last 40 seconds told me a chunk of the gameplay. Not like what I'm going to do every turn, per se. I assume I'm moving around and completing different things. But how there's going to be a bunch of different balls that I have to juggle in the air.
At the start of each new round, you'll always receive some help with the Citadel's supplies.
Awesome.
You may choose to stock up on equipment, spells, or traps.
Awesome. So we're going to... Looks like maybe draft. You pick from one of those. You get 5 cards. You take one. Your character is going to be getting different, getting unique as you progress through the game. I actually really like that a lot. That's one of my favorite things about a game like King of Tokyo, just how your character progresses throughout the game, and that's a cool element.
Nightfall.
Assuming, whoa, that was slick. What are these components?
The darkness will become stronger and stronger in its attempt to wipe out the region of Betel once and for all. Place traps to hinder the other guardians or the darkness.
The map reminds me of Small World.
Attack the likeness, creatures born of the darkness. But beware, what you see isn't always what you get.
Remove 1 decay per battle. I will say I'm not particularly overwhelmed by the cards that I'm seeing.
What you get. Elaine's amulet, the Crimson Fate, will let you modify your rolls.
They seem very mechanical, which is to be expected, but it's just... Maybe not mechanical, I was just hoping more would be on it. I just want a little bit more. I think Kevin really has a good point here, which is sure it looks pretty, but what makes it different? And that's the thing that I'm coming into this, and I'm like, alright, this reminds me of some other games. But what really sets this one apart? I'm not seeing it quite yet.
Will you...
And maybe it's just this. Maybe it's that thing.
Choose. Will you save High Priestess Elaine by confronting the darkness that's slowly killing her and the whole region? Will you attempt to free the Shadow Shaman Marsh from his exile inside the monolith, allowing him to restore his powers from the moon's mantle, which originated this threat? Will you face challenges and events in Betel to gain more fame than the other guardians, proving yourself as rightful heir to High Priestess Elaine?
So, numerous different paths to victory. Love seeing that.
Will you be charmed by the darkest doom and give in to it?
That's a way to win? Cool. So 4 different alternate win conditions, or maybe each character has different ways to win. If that's the case, then slap me with the word asymmetrical. So I really enjoyed that video once we got into the actual... A minute 50 pass.
Darkest doom.
Yeah, like once we got into the actual gameplay, I thought that was a great video. The first minute 50 though, like I don't care about these characters or anything like that much. Most people don't, because it's just this is Kickstarter. I'm not here for a minute 50 minutes that long for the theme at the beginning, unless you're interweaving gameplay and components, which I think they could have done there potentially, because there was. Like, they were talking about making the gods... No, because that... I don't know. I was trying to defend the first minute and 50, and I can't. Anywho, game start. 9 created, 7 backs. We're a company that develops and creates... develops playful accessories and board games on Kickstarter because we support creative freedom. We made the world's creator line dedicated to all role players and sold all over the world. Adaptable Top, a modular tabletop for board gamers, and interactive miniatures, an innovative system for managing game events and RPGs. I do like that. So they haven't done a game yet, per se, and so no help on the updates or comments there from any collaborators, because I don't think either of these are going to be popping in there, which concerns me a little bit. But let's check out the track record, see if people were loving the Adapt tabletop and the world's first interactive miniatures. Just making sure people like the things that they've done in the past. So, updates. Is it out? Pre-production update. I apologize for so this is not out yet. Check out the comments. Really difficult at the moment with all those war and corona problems. I am not in a hurry, but I like to ask, when do you expect that the final product may be shipped? Is there any chance this summer? So right now, it looks like that one is in a little bit of a shipping limbo. Let's make sure the world's first interactive miniatures. Wow, this is a beast as well. Make sure this is out. Hello everybody. Sorry for the delay in this. I hate this. Like, I get it. I can look at the email and I can see what day it is. Let me know some useful information in the update. Like, if you could convey to me, something to make me want to click on it. Sorry for the delay in this update. We're still waiting for Easter to give us a production ship. Meanwhile, to not waste time, we did some tests on the minis to see if it was possible to improve the product. After the first Sundrop samples we received, we were not entirely satisfied with the color rendering. So this one is not out as well. They're still working on that one. Howdy, Huckleberry. What I got for the story part of the video is there's a character dying and she creates the game's doom clock. Yeah, now that you say that, I got that as well, but it's like, is that the most important thing to lead with in the first 2 minutes of the video? Adapt to a lifted modular. So hopefully hopefully this one is now out. Fulfillment report. Hello, guys. In this update, it will summarize everything that happened in the month of EU-US fulfillment. This was a year ago, so for sure this one is out. So let's check out the comments, make sure people like this. Do they have anything else? Still have not received my order yet. When may I see it? I may have missed this, but the box shows 5 STLs for the legs, but I can only find 4 in the STL files. Do we get this? So no answer 17 days ago, no answer 10 days ago, which once again, that's one of those things that I'm always concerned about when I see no collaborators helping in the updates and comments. Could we get an update on the delivery for our replacement orders? If you mean new holders, they will be shipped together with the LTD. Sorry about that. I meant, could you occasionally post those updates over here? Many of us did not back the LA Digital Edition. My writing pad won't clear any longer. We no longer have e-pads in the US. That stinks. US backer, I still have not received any kind of updates coming or plans on follows through. That was completed 4 months ago. Hi, is there any estimates as when Envision will set for the replacement cups? Okay, so it's not glowing here, but it's not terrible. I want to look at one more. Red flag. Yes, I would agree. This is a red flag, and I know what you're saying. Like, oh, why are you jumping to conclusions? Because this looks like a massive undertaking. Like, this is a gigantic minis game, and this one's not out. This one's not out. This one is out or isn't out or something like that. It's just, I'm just looking for the one where it's like everybody loves it. It's out. It's fantastic. Here we go. Updates. Important post-fulfillment update. Fulfillment is over all over the world. We are holding cases with shipping problems. The only left. Okay, cool. So did people like it? I'm in Santiago, Chile, and I've still not received the pledge. Email them. So 9 months ago they said that. 5 months ago someone else had to say, oh, you have to email them because they're not going to respond here. Yeah. Okay. So can you do it? I'm on the not super comfortable train, so I'm going to need to be a little bit convinced here. They've done stuff before, but customer service-wise, and this is their first game as well. That's another thing to take into consideration. At least according to Board Game Geek, they don't have any other games that they've designed, which is just something to put out in the air. Darkest Doom. Looks super cool. Looks like Siphus with lots of missing parts and pieces. You got to keep track of this board and that board and your own player boards and this, and I love that sort of thing. 1 to 4 players, 14 plus, 90 to 150 minutes to play. And I go back to that main image, which I thought was a little bit lackluster. I think you mentioned 90 to 150 minutes to play. Undoubtedly, this is a medium to heavyweight game for most gamers. And that's going to attract a whole separate niche of people who would be interested in this game who might not otherwise. And, so that right there, I would spruce that up. Boom, pop that in there. 1 to 4 players. Okay, I want to point out just how much effort was put into the world building in the design of this game. I think they've done an incredible job. The artwork looks amazing. Don't care. I always feel like I have options in this game. When I say don't care, it's like I can see the artwork. Like, that's one of those ones where it's like I don't ever want to see that in a quote because this is a visual medium. I can look at the artwork and decide if I like the artwork or not. So I don't need someone who's like I don't care what Tom or Richard thinks about the artwork if I'm looking at the artwork myself. You know what I mean? I always feel like I have options in this game. I never feel like I'm stuck. I never feel like there's nothing I can do. I think that is a really cool game. Okay. Darkest Doom is a big... So what they're saying is it doesn't have the problem of making it feel... You always have choices. Cool. Darkest Doom is a big fantasy game with a whole bunch of different paths to victory. That's what Board Game Geek said. The website. Or is that what Scott Alden said? The president of Board Game Geek? Or are you just lifting a quote about your game from Board Game Geek? This is a very weird quote. Man vs. Meeple. Darkest Doom is a very unique gameplay with a really cool flavor and lots of things players can do. Okay, I like that. You know, that's one thing I love about Uwe Rosenberg. You know, it's just tons of choices, different things to do. I think that's a great thing to spotlight. You open the box to find all these great things. Everyone loved the game. Its setting, components, and mechanics, a wonderfully complex, competitive game. The game offers something different and unique. It has the story, super gorgeous artwork, and design. These quotes are all over the board. I still don't quite get what I'm doing. Click here to learn more about the backstory. No, I'm good. I got enough. First, back 48 hours and get the Herald of Hyan. Wow! 5 players in semi-cooperative sandwich for free. I said sandwich instead of expansion. Hopefully nobody noticed that. That's a banger. That is absolutely fantastic. That is a reason to back. Okay, but then once again, the can you do it factor. We're not just making a game. We're making a game plus an expansion. And this is a big game. And presumably a big expansion with a big looking mini. So this is a player board. Because this is honestly what I want. And here's the other thing. Maybe you mentioned this in the marquee. Goes up to 5 players. Semi-cooperative expansion. I think when these mini companies decide to make a game, they should advertise the designer. Well, with this one, like I said, this is their first design, at least as far as I could see on Board Game Geek. So that one's going to be a hard sell unless you're just like, because it's, how did they, I mean, I don't know how they sell that. Like, I would totally agree if they had a pedigree. It's like, we made Game X. Pledges. So, $109.99 euros. Okay, that gets you the car set. The Daily Goals expansion. So, another big box, presumably, which is going to be filled with a bunch of plastic. And then so this is the first 48-hour pledge. Darkest Doom pledge, 48 hours. This is the one moving the needle. Nope, because there's a bigger one down here. Yep, the Guardian Edition. What's coming with this one? A big fancy book. The graphic novel, tying everything together. Okay. Could be worse. They could have the quotes flip-flop like Mercurial. I agree with that. At least I can read these without having to get frustrated because I can't read fast enough, even though I'm a fast reader, I tells you. So Groundwalker, the graphic novel, and I imagine this is... That explains the theme overload, if there's a graphic novel behind this world. I get it kind of now. And if this is some sort of IP I don't know about, or something that already exists, like, I could see this being good fan service, but still, for everybody else, like, I don't know, that first minute 50. The Coins of Destiny. So I'm not a particularly big fan of this. I'd love to see zoomed in on these coins. Like, why are these coins fancy? Why is this... What's on this bag? Like, zoom in. Have a nice, long, sexy, scrolling component shot. Here we go. So, 74 minis, 415 cards. That's a good chunk of cards. Okay, so I see it's a big box. I like that angle. They show me it's a very thick box. So, I have that in my head when we get to the shipping section. That it might be, $20, $30 shipping, whatever. 73 markers, 38 other game pieces. The Winter Mountain, the deck holder. Size... suitable for card sleeves. I'd love to know the inches of this. That'd be great right here. High Priestesses, as well as centimeters, of course. The White Fox player board. You got the thing. Zoom in on the player board a little bit more. I'd love to see that. I'd love to read that text. I'd love to know a little bit more about the player board. I get it. The minis are great. Whatevs. Lake Ghost, Leader of the Horde. You didn't show me the price yet, did you? Did you? I don't think you did. Because now I'm... Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. What was it? 99. Okay, so 99 and then 139. Got it. In my brain. So it is $40 more than MSRP, but it looks like a big, massive minis game. 40 playing cards, 40 traps. Okay, now I'm starting to see. I like the trap cards. I'd love to be zoomed in on this. This is what I'm talking about. Zoom me in on these cards. I want to read about this. I want to get into this. I want to be able to notice all the little details in these cards because clearly each one seemingly has this gorgeous artwork, and you we're very, very clearly trying to lean onto your theme and artwork. Why not in the component area zoom in on it so I can see that every single card is just, you know, dripping with the theme, and it can help me in my brain, you know, maybe connect this theme and connect with the theme a little bit more. And I always feel like that's a good thing to do in games. All right, so we got cards. Once again, zoom in on this. Oh, that's a player reference cards. Fantastic. Love that. Tell me inches as well if these are anything other than standards. All right. Lots of components, lots of stuff. It looks like a $100 game, you know? Highly detailed game board. This is weird. It does, like, there's a magnifying glass here, but it doesn't actually look like the magnifying glass is zooming in. Still going with this one, yeah. The rule booklet, the plastic insert. Oh, wow, that's a very nice insert. The rules summary, fantastic. Love seeing this as well. Hopefully I can click on the rule booklet somewhere. Guardian Edition. So this is the exclusive content. So that was the $99 edition. I got to say, I feel like that was a solid $111. Okay. I felt like that was reasonable. Definitely reasonable. Especially considering you let me know that, and I think this is really the key here. You let me know that just these components are not what I'm getting. There's going to be a whole other big box of stuff. And you showed me that in the pledge level. You know, because a lot of times Kickstarters run into this issue where they have all these things that are planned to be unveiled, but then people see that original price and they're like, man, that original price kind of sucks. And it's like, well, no. They're like, no, we're going to unveil a whole bunch of stuff. And so I like what they did here. They're like, yeah, it's another big box. You're going to get a whole bunch more stuff. But I feel like the price is definitely on par with what you'd expect to pay on Kickstarter. So now we're getting into exactly what is different and why I should pay the extra $40. And I do like this. So it's like, this is all the extra stuff I'm getting. So a 100-page graphic novel. Cool. 20 metal coins, and now I'm getting in the zoom shot. Those look nice. Those look fancy. The Elders Relic Pack. So these are upgraded components. Okay. $40. We got a little Crimstone miniature. The neoprene game mat. Now this right there, I think that moves the needle, and that's why this is definitely the most popular pledge level. I feel like they did a great job spotlighting and showcasing that pledge level, letting me know exactly what was different. None of this is essential gameplay content. It's just extra things to make this game even look better. And, okay, I think they did a great job of selling that. The daily goals. All right, here we go. And, ooh, they even broke it down. The PST, the EST, the CST. Cool. Read the section dedicated to the history behind Darkest Dooms to better understand timeless characters and event. Okay, if I really want to get into the weeds here, theme-wise, like that. There's a backstory. Wow. Beheading Blades. Day 1. So this is an extra mini with cards. And I got to give them kudos. I criticize a lot of companies for doing this. They will say, oh, we unlocked this. And they'll just show a mini. And I'll be like, wait, there's cards as well. They're like, oh, yeah, there's cards as well. Then show the cards. Because this is not just an extra mini. It's 5 additional cards. And that's big. Like a mini with 5 cards? Heck yeah. Another mini with 5 cards. And so now I'm like, all right, I'm kind of seeing that 155. Like that's... And this is also not just the 155. This is in the that one as well. And I also like the fact they're saying to go check out more info about backstory and gameplay on update number 2. Awesome. Clean, clear. If I want more info, I can go there. Great. Game highlights in the open world. I can barely read these. Freely explore the world of Betel and take advantage of each zone's unique abilities. There's lots of information on this card. I would have loved to see more of that sort of thing in the video. This is cool. Showing me the pieces on it. Looks good. Strategy and RPG elements. Now look at this player board setup. The mid-game. This looks fantastic. This looks good. Like I want to see it. So what am I looking for? Ooh, look at that. You got a thing going around there. Woo. Fancy stuff. That's a very odd hand. That hand. Maybe it's just the cards, the way they're zoomed in or something. Something about that's throwing me off. All right, the dark coal contaminations will slow down the Guardians' game flow, and so we're talking theme stuff. Bought Guardians mode. The Bought Guardians mode allows you to play with up to 3 automated Guardians for solo games or games in which some of the players are missing. Now this, I do love. This is great, especially for 2-player gamers. Beautiful. Victory conditions. So yeah, once again, there's like, 4 of them? Cool. How to play in previews. What is this, the gameplay? Look at me the gameplay.
I'm going to gain 1 daily.
Cool. That's what I want to see.
Time for another
run through. Final thoughts. Ooh, how to play. Yep, there we go.
It will actually favorable.
Full how to play. that moves the needle there. I think this should be higher, honestly. I'm 24 minutes into this. I think this should be way higher. This is great. Full how to play video. I don't even have to worry about your rule booklet, which I don't think you've shown me. So videos, cool stuff. You had quotes above, but maybe still some quotes above, like around the videos. Here's artwork. Okay, I see artwork. I like how that's more important than shipping. Hey, shipping. Where custom friendly is indicated, it means that Game Start will bear the cost of importing the goods intended for the backer. So you're going to get jacked by the VAT. No additional custom tax will be requested. So 18 euros to EU, and they converted the currency. Wow! They did the euros and the pounds, and Canadian, and Australian. I love it. Let's do this, everybody. Together now. It's not hard. You got an estimated number, you put that in their specific language. Beautiful. And they let me know I'm going to be jacked by the VAT. Shipping costs required 4 months. Rest of the world, whew, that's a big one. So, so what did I say? $32 to ship that to me. And once again, what did I say? If it's around $20-30, because you showed me how thick that box was, and then I see that I'm getting another box, and then I see that I'm getting an expansion box, this shipping does not make me blink. And companies could do a great job of making shipping prices much more palatable by just doing it like that. And I think they did a great job. It seems like they couldn't bank on the designer's clout. The image above shipping names him, but he's only on BGG for this game. Yeah, so this one I would definitely probably watch one of those how to play videos. Like, and then that would be where I would decide I was going to back this. Because honestly, this looks like an interesting game. But I still really don't have a great feel for how to play it. All right, FAQ. When will I have to pay for shipping costs? What is the managing pledge phase? Do I add funds before the purchase? I'm a retailer. Okay, what else? Updates. It's the first day of Timeless. Are you ready? So we got 49 hearts, 8 comments, 36 heart, 9 comments. Let's check out what the update is. Evolutions of the Dark Contaminations, Act 1. So this is a lot of theme. Oh, you're going into details about the cards as well. Cool. Cage. An equipment card? We're talking just tons about the game here. Okay. Will there be an option for a shade wash? This looks absolutely fascinating. So one thing I do is I would engage your backers, especially if you are leaning into your theme. Engage your backers about the theme. Now, I think that might... I wouldn't do that, actually, now that I say that. Like, that seems like a no-brainer. But I don't feel like most of the people are here because they're just crazy gung-ho about the theme. It's just that the game looks cool. It looks unique. It is a very interesting theme. But I would ask them a question. I'd get them engaged about the gameplay or something or other. Always good to ask a question. Look at the comments. My wife found this game some weeks ago and was super hyped, so here we are. It looks great so far, especially the huge world and minis. I read the FAQ about Darkest Doom is a large language-dependent project. Will there be any localization? The fact that you need to know if there are more than 500 backers for each specific language, but I'd like to know before pledge ends if this game will be translated in my language. Thanks. During the campaign, it is possible to have an estimate from the community tab. We will send a survey at the end to ask for your preferences. 500 is a pretty tall order. I will say that. Yeah, 500 is a lot. Especially with a game like this where you're going to get the VAT and the shipping. So yeah, mostly 759, but Germany coming in strong with 203. Nice. But they are in here. They're responding to comments. That's good. So decent customer service there. So final thoughts. Final grade. Darkest Doom. Do I want it? I don't know. Like, it looks interesting. It looks much more like a game. You know, there's my thing here. When I see these expensive minis games, I just kind of expect something epic. Like, I always expect something epic now. Like, oh, it's going to be an epic game with tons of this and tons of that and tons of gameplay. This one doesn't give me that feel. It feels like just a Euro game that I'd play from time to time and get out. It'd be like a Scythe type of thing, you know? Which is just, I think it's a hard sell at that price point when you don't have any campaign gameplay. But the solo looks solid. So do I want it? Yeah, I guess. I don't think this has the it factor, quite personally, but that might just be me. Let me know what you think. Can you do it? I'm a bit concerned there. I will say that. You got all your ducks in a row for this, like the Board Game Geek video and all those videos. But then I look at that track record, and it's like you got stuff outstanding, which is, it is what it is. But then I see bad customer service. in the comments where people are like, oh, you got to email them. You have to email them. They don't even, where someone else literally has to do your job and say, hey, they don't check this anymore. You have to email them. You know, they're not going to come to their comment section. And like that, little things like that make me more concerned. And then when it's your first game, and it's this huge, massive game with all these huge ideas and numerous ways to win, and it's coming straight out the gate with the expansion too, though, and it goes 1 to 5 players. So I quite personally would mention that there, especially considering, you know, the majority of the people that are going to back this game are going to get the 5-player version. But I also didn't feel like you really talked about the semi-cooperative or how that's going to work. Like, I go back to kind of not getting a feel for how the game plays. And I don't think we got a rule booklet. I think we got the how to play, but I don't think we got a rule booklet, which is always concerning to me as well. Man, I'm really kind of conflicted on this one. That shipping section was awesome, though. I did love the shipping section, converting the currencies. I felt like once we got past the first minute and 50, I thought the video was very well done. I thought it did a great job of explaining, you know, maybe not exactly how to play the game, which I would have loved, but like the gameplay and like what I'm going to be doing, the different ways to win. So I'm going to go with a B-, I think, on this one. Darkest Doom, not a big fan of the main image either, but I still feel like this is solid. You know, considering this is a first-time game designer and they're promising the moon, I feel like they did a good job of selling it. Having that how-to-play video really helps an awful lot. Not having the rule booklet, though, concerns me a little bit there. Yeah, the rule booklet not being there. I'm going to go with a C+. C+. But there's a gameplay. Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go with the C+ on this one. Let me know in the comments below. What's your final grade for Darkest Doom, the competitive strategy RPG game? Once again, not grading the game itself. I've never played the game, but how well it was presented via the Kickstarter project. And if you enjoy this content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button. I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers. Celebrate my 10-year anniversary of making YouTube content. Bye-bye.